Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict here with Eric Shamilov coming to you live. Another day in the books yesterday. They almost had the S&P down on the day, but it ended up closing up. But we did have a nice sell off the high. We were looking for that. That came to fruition, and we were able to make a little bit of money on that. But obviously, it lasted very, very short. I want to talk about a lot of stuff today. I've been at this desk since 6:30 in the morning. I've been looking at a bunch of charts. I've been looking at analyzing some of these moves, which have been some of the biggest moves we've had in history of the market, believe it or not, in history. So we had a historic move, which I want to get to, but I want to first talk a little bit about the currency market, which the dollar has been picking up strength. It's kind of back where it was about 2.5 weeks ago, but we're at a key inflection point at 115 on the euro. I know you were on top of that trade a bit. I'm still in that trade. I've been sitting in that trade for months and months and months and have not gotten stopped out or been able to take a large enough profit. And that's very unusual for currencies, but that trade looks like it's about to pay off. So we're in that for in full disclosure. Touched a little bit on bonds yesterday, getting up to about 442 on the yield, and now coming back down 438.5. And I'll throw it to you in a second. But today is the first day of the Fed meeting, 2-day meeting. Obviously, not a lot expected, but I do think it's going to be an interesting press conference, especially with the Powell Trump fight. And I think you're going to see a lot of rhetoric from Trump, almost to the point where he may just fire him. You never know. Although he's been much more taco recently as far as chickening out of being aggressive in general. So we'll see. So I'll throw it to you, but I got a lot to talk about today. I want to really touch on Nvidia and I want to touch on the move in Nasdaq, but I'll throw it to you for some insight and thoughts to get us going today. So you're up.
Thank you, Larry. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, you mentioned the euro. That one is really interesting to me as well right now because I think that for the last, 4 months, a lot of this tariff fear has been embedded into the euro. I think also in the beginning of the year, the euro went up because the thought was, well, Europe is going to start spending on their own defense. You remember that back in the beginning of the year when Europe started to outperform the
Yeah,
United States,
yeah.
right? It was all because of like defense spending, and they're going to start. The U.S. is going to pull out of NATO. They're going to be forced to spend finally, and the euro came up, and then the euro came up because the trade became de-dollarization. In between that, what typically drives currencies is rate differentials. That went out the window because U.S. rates went up. Everybody's selling treasuries out of fear that we're going to have a de-dollarization event this year because of tariff. And none of that happened, right? But the euro's still up there. And if you look at the rate differential between the U.S. and Europe over the last 4 months, it's in favor of the dollar in a big way. So I think the probability of a high print in the euro has increased. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to jump back into this trade.
No, I'm in it. I'm waiting. It's been very aggravating. We haven't had a two-figure move really in maybe two at the most. So, now we're back. We're probably up a little bit on this trade. Um, but I just wanted to touch on that since we do have an open trade for our subscribers and we're sitting in that and we're hoping to catch the move. And, the yen looks interesting, maybe a move above 150. So we may buy the dollar against the yen here, although it's moved decently. But right now, it's still in no trade land. And, oil, back up to $67, not really moving, but at the higher end of the range. And, gold is, I know you like gold, and you said yesterday on the podcast you would never sell gold ever, no matter what. So,
That's not what I
I'll
said.
take care of that for you. Don't worry. I, I look at,
You're too late now.
I
It's
look at markets
$40.
agnostically, and I could trade that both long and short. Right now, it's up very small, not really doing much. And like we said when we opened the podcast, bonds are still in no man's land. First day of the Fed, usually quiet action, but I have a lot to talk about, and I wanna run this stuff by you. Just see what how listen. You're new generation, so to you, a move like this is probably not a lot, even though it ranks in the top five returns in the history of Nasdaq, in the literal yearly return history. The move off the low to now in 2.5 months has been more than the move that we had in 2003 when we were up 40%. 2022, we were up 47% off the low in COVID. So I don't really count that. 42% in 95, 42% in 19, again, after COVID. Um, I'm sorry, 37%. And guess what? The NASDAQ, as of this morning, is up 44%. So it ranks in 2 months in the top five gains, basically in the history of the NASDAQ. You don't think that's impressive? In 2 months. I mean, something is gone off the rails crazy. And I feel like it's an insatiable appetite to buy. There are no reasons. We will get into talking about Nvidia, which is 10% of the Nasdaq 100 is one stock. So as that moves, so does the Nasdaq. And if you looked at Nasdaq yesterday, the S&P was up $1 and the Nasdaq was up 90. And the 90 all came from one stock. The actual broad index was down. Nvidia out of nowhere rallied $4 yesterday, added another $100 billion in market cap, basically, in one day, which is the value of Coinbase. So basically, I'm just using that. It's also the value of Procter and Gamble and a number of other stocks. Again, it's up 75 billion this morning. So, it's adding unbelievable amounts of market cap. I believe, and I'm going on record right here, and you're going to disagree. This is a meme stock. This is a real stock hidden, uncovered as a meme stock. This is a meme stock. This stock has 25 billion shares outstanding and moves over $100 billion a day, which is more than the value of 80% of the S&P 500. So I don't know how that strikes you, but to me, that strikes me crazy. And there's no news in the stock today. When Touchdown T behind me came in, he was surfing for news. No news, just up another 75 billion on top of the 100 billion yesterday. You're talking about 200 billion. There's only four. Do you know what the market cap of Netflix is?
I
It's
should know. That's my most hated stock.
what is it, 490 or it's 499. It's added almost to Netflix in 3 trading days. I mean, come
It's
on.
been dropping lately, by
I
the way.
mean, it is actually unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. And now let's talk for a minute about the low in Nvidia. The low in Nvidia was $86 on April 7th, May 7th, June 7th, July 7th. So 3 months, 3.5 months, right? 3.5 months. Okay. It's up 107% in 3.5 months. It had a $2.23 trillion market cap on April 7th. You know what the market cap is this morning? I probably gave it away to you, but it's 4.6 trillion, which is more. It's added, listen to this one. It's added more market cap since April 7th than the value of Amazon. So it had a little baby Amazon come out of its belly since April 7th. It born a new company bigger than the fourth biggest company in the world. They have like they made like they're on track to make $100 billion in gross revenues. How are they adding that every single day plus? I mean, you don't think that everyone's in this and this is not a meme stock? I mean, this, you wake up in the morning, it's like, how much is Nvidia? Oh, it's up 3, no big deal. It's up 2, no big deal. It's now worth $5 trillion. I mean, they had the guy on 60 Minutes when it crossed 2 trillion less than a year ago. It's crazy. It's just an amazing thing. And that's setting up a bubble. And I am going on record with all of this stuff. It is what? What's today, Thomas? July what? July 29th. And I'm telling you that this action and this market movement, especially Nvidia, is insane. It's insane. Where are the sellers? Where are the shares? Like, where no one wants to sell no matter where it goes? It's going to go up forever? It's wait, maybe next week it'll birth Coinbase in a day. I mean, it is amazing the amount of wealth that's been created in one name. It's amazing that this stock can run the way it does. And when I was in the market as a specialist, this would never happen because we had liquidity at every price point. There's no liquidity. And what happens is these computers just come in and they run in front. And like if you try to buy 10,000 shares of Nvidia, you can't even buy it. You like if you go in the order book right now, Thomas, do you see a 10,000 share order, which is not even big? I mean, when you have 25 billion shares outstanding, there's no stock around. Nobody can buy the thing. No one can sell it when they want. So this is, in my mind, a meme. I just wanted to say this morning all of these facts because it's actually incredible. The move in Nasdaq off the low is an incredible move. You have to respect it. It happened. It is unbelievable. Even though we didn't have the last 20% of this, which is embarrassing, I'm here standing and feeling pretty good about the prospect of having some market uncertainty because the bubble is large, dude. The bubble is large. And yesterday, we have positions in Coinbase, and Thomas said all his friends saw a golden cross or something at 400. It went to 445, and yesterday traded down to like 375. It came in over 20+% as Bitcoin was rallying. So I think you're going to see stuff like that happen in Nvidia. We're going to basically add to our short position, only doing it in spreads. I suggest just doing cap spreads so that you know what your risk is. But to me, nobody is. I'm going to throw it to you because I'm doing a lot of talking and I threw out a lot of stats and a lot of information, but I'm going to throw it to you. But I just want to say this. You got the Fed tomorrow, no one cares. You got tariffs on Friday. You're already hearing rumblings. Listen to this one. China, US is stuck on a bunch of different points. They're not going to meet the deadline. They're going to push this thing back. Who knows how far? 3 months, 6 months. Okay. And the only way that there is going to be a deal done, from what I'm hearing, okay, is if Xi and Trump meet. They have to meet to do the deal. That's what they want. So the bottom line is you're months and months and months and months and months and months off. So that's now thrown up there. And then I'm going to throw it back to you and tell me about Mexico and Canada. What's going on with them? Nobody cares. So I'm going to throw it to you. I'm going to give you a chance to give your market thoughts. I'm fully clear out there. I'm sure you're going to be
Yeah,
bullish, of course.
you went clear, that's for sure.
I
So this
know,
whole
man.
time, so you got to the office early just to say what, that Nvidia is overvalued.
No,
Now, is Nvidia
I'm
actually
talking.
overvalued? I'm looking at here. You know what? I'll share my screen
Dude,
with
then
you.
you should have bought it.
I
If
mean,
you don't, I'm
listen, I
shorted.
borrowed your bearishness for a day, and I'm killing myself for it now. But that's
Why?
okay.
The S&P's
Check
up 10
check this
handles,
out.
dude. I think you're. Oh yeah, I forgot. 10 handles is the world to you.
It's the world.
The
You know it's
S&P's
the
up
world.
10
I'm
handles,
human
dude, on a
generation, right? Market,
$6,400
thou
instrument.
shalt not fall. Right? Thou shalt not fall.
Okay.
But look, you're mentioning Nvidia. I get all that. I think a good analogy is like you mentioned a lot of. By the way, so this before I get into the analogy, the white line here is your 12-month forward price to earnings multiple on Nvidia. Okay, which right now is at 36. First thing to notice about this, you could see that Nvidia has been trading at a much higher PE over the last 5 years. And if anything, the trend in PE has been falling over the last 5 years. And why has it been falling? You see this blue line? This is earnings, my boy. Earnings up big. Nvidia is really profitable, over a 50% profit margin with rising earnings. And those earnings, I'm assuming, are going to go up even higher. So you mentioned a lot of records that were broken. It's like baseball, right? Babe Ruth came in 713 home runs. Nobody thought that would be broken, right? Hank Aaron comes in 755, right? Barry Bonds comes in. Yes, he's on steroids. I think it's a perfect analogy for today's market because this market too is on steroids. But yeah, these records are going to get broken. So what are you going to do? I mean, it's a
What am I
function
gonna do? What am I
of
gonna do?
M2. It's a function of
I'm gonna trade the heck out of it. That's what I'm gonna do.
right.
Okay.
I
And
understand.
you're gonna
And
sit
it's
there,
like
you're gonna sit there
you're worrying about a
pontificating.
lot of things that
Dude,
like only
you know what? You're throwing up some BS Bloomberg thing. Let's talk about what their earnings are. Let's talk about it. What are their earnings, Thomas? Okay, let's talk about it. What are they going to make? What are they going to make? What are their gross sales going to be? $100 billion for the year, 150, but they're trading at 5 trillion. It'll take them 70 years to freaking make that kind of number. I mean, come on, dude. This is the biggest bubble I've ever seen. You could talk about earnings, you could talk about what you want. This is a
but you can't
bubble.
have a bubble. Call it something else,
Why
but don't
why
call
can you
it a
have a
bubble.
bubble? Why can
But
you have
why
a
is this a
bubble?
bubble? Why? A bubble
Dude, this is
means
listen.
go
I'm not
ahead.
I love you, dude. You have traded in maybe no bubbles. The problem in the environment. Let me ask you this. Let's back up a second. What is considered a veteran trader? How many years in the market? Would you be considered a veteran trader? 10, 5,
10.
11?
10.
Okay,
Gotta
so
be 10.
10. 10, you've only seen one down move because there was a freaking disease out there that locked everyone in their house. Other than
Not
that,
true.
you haven't seen any down moves.
I when I started trading, it
I'm
was right
time
at
out.
the beginning.
Eric,
Hold on.
time out.
Right at the beginning
I'm not talking
of
about
the
you.
biggest
Dude,
commodity bear market
oh
in
my
history.
God. Who cares? Nobody's trading
That
commodities.
was a bear. Well,
But
that
no
was a
one's
bear market.
trading commodities. Everybody's trading equities. No one's
Hard
trading
to trade that
gold
in
and
equity.
silver. I mean, come on. Who's trading gold and silver? A very
Why? I
finite group
never
of
heard of
people.
anybody trading.
Very little, dude. Very little. Okay. Everyone and their mother, including my mother, is trading NVIDIA. Okay. My mother
That's
is long NVIDIA.
probably
She's a
that's probably.
genius. Okay. But
She is. She is a genius. She wanted to buy Bitcoin at 80,
I
and you
no,
talked
she
her out
didn't
of
want to buy it at 80. She wanted to buy it at 2000. She didn't know what it was, but everyone was talking about it.
exactly.
So,
And you know what? Look at that. She wanted to buy it at
Eric,
2000,
Eric,
and me and you are like, "What is this piece of crap? Why are we in it?" Right? And because retail investors, you know what the beauty of them is? Do you know where their genius really comes from? KISS. They keep it simple. That's the beauty of what they do.
Okay, now you're saying retail traders
And
have
we just
more.
overthink it. We
Dude,
constantly overthink it.
dude, listen. I'm telling you, you just said, okay? And then you started saying how you traded a commodity bear market. What does that have to do with this? I mean, come on. The
You said
commodity bear market?
I
I mean,
never saw a bear market. I
commodities
saw
go in a bear market every other hour. I mean, come on. Gold just dropped into a bear market. How come you're not talking about gold in a bear market? Gold is over 20% off the high. So is that a bear market? Honestly,
that.
20%
Is it
off.
20? Is it really 20% off the high? Damn.
Yeah, it traded 36,000. It's trading at 33,000. So, yeah, 17 whatever. It's close to a bear market. All I'm saying is commodities do not equate to equities, okay?
No, they're
Not
more
at
volatile.
all. But
They're
what
more
I'm
volatile.
saying, all I'm saying to you is you're saying a veteran trader, veteran is 10 years in the business. So 90% or 75% of all traders traded probably through COVID, but didn't trade a true bear market, okay, or a true market that didn't go up. So that's what we're dealing with now. I'm just saying, like, if you're BlackRock or Blackstone, let's go to the holders page on Nvidia. Okay, so Nvidia holdings, okay, are I don't know why it's not coming up. No,
What are you looking for? The people like the hedge funds that are holding this thing?
no, not hedge funds, just institutions, whoever. I
Well,
mean,
it's going to be the top dogs. BlackRock and all these.
yeah, it's dude. These guys have holy shit, two two. I don't even know this number. Oh, 2,200,000. I mean, come on. You're talking about Vanguard owns $1 trillion of this stock or whatever. I mean, it's insanity. And no one wants to sell a share. I
Do you
mean,
remember what was it? 2021. Like every time the market is at an all-time high, it's the same thing. A lot of statistics are bandied about on Twitter and stuff. It's like the market has never done XYZ, XY, ABC consecutive times in a row. Like that, you fill in the blank there for XYZ and ABC, right? The market hasn't done XYZ, ABC number of times in a row. Every single time the market is at an all time high, I see this. And it's like, yeah, because it just hit an all time high.
Eric,
You're going to be
Eric,
breaking statistical
Eric,
records.
Eric, you're not helping our people. Okay. So what you're saying to buy the market, is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying to buy the
Then
market.
what are
I'm
you
saying not
saying?
to hate
I'm
it
coming
so
on
much.
today telling you that Nvidia is in a full out bubble. Okay. It is
But it's
disguised.
important to get the
You're not letting me
characterization.
talk. It's
Is it a
disguised.
bubble or is it overbought?
Jesus Christ. You're not letting me talk. It is disguised as a meme stock. Okay. A stock, listen, I've traded longer than you've pretty much been alive. Okay. And I will tell you, I've traded every one of these go-go stocks and whatever. This is insane. This stock has 25 billion shares outstanding. It should not be up overnight, $3.50 on air. Last night on the IB website, it trades overnight. It was up $3 on less than a million shares. People are just letting, they're like, listen, if you want to pay this stupid for this stock, go for it. I mean, that's what's going on here. They're like, okay, just pay up, pay up. You want to pay up, pay up. I mean, I just think listen, it's just crazy town.
Yeah, it's
And
overbought, but is it a bubble? Is the
yes,
market a bubble? It's important to get
A
that
hundred,
character.
100%. The U.S. stock market is 100% in a bubble. I'm saying this is early phase. So, in the bubbles that I've traded, so like when I think of bubble, I think of somebody that's blowing that 6 pieces of bazooka gum, big bubble, okay? You're playing with it, it doesn't pop. You're like, wow, I can really touch it now, okay? Well, guess what? All of a sudden it's going to pop. And I just think that, the market is priced for utter perfection. It's, Nvidia is up $2, and that's a lot, but it's not enough. They want it up 4, 5, 6, because you got a bunch of day traders trading 100 and 200 share lots that are pushing this thing around. And like if you look at Coinbase, same thing, Eric. That stock went to $450 or $440. That thing traded 375. That's over a 23% correction in 3 days. Okay,
Yeah,
is that a popping? What is that? So,
that that's not a now that was a hype thing that
but why is it
look.
a hype thing? Why
I was
why is
shortly because
Nvidia why is it Nvidia on Sunday night timeout? Why is Nvidia on Sunday night worth $200 billion less than it is today? 200 billion in 2 days on no news with nothing going on. There are only 50 companies in the United States worth that much money. So I'm telling you that this feels to me like a bubble. It's just, they don't care the price. They don't care what happens. They want to buy every day, no matter what, no matter what. And that's what's going on here. And eventually that's going to end. There's going to take time, whether it's a day or a week, for a seed change. And when that seed change comes, it's going to get crazy. Listen, I was away for what, 2 weeks? I was away for 2 weeks. So I was away 2 weeks ago. You know where Nvidia was 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. Tell me where you think it was.
168.
159. It added an Amazon since but not an Amazon, a Netflix. It's added a Netflix. It produced a baby Netflix in the last 2 weeks on no news. Actually, the original news was that China was going to buy their chips. Who knows if they are or they're not, but that was what got it going. But I mean, it's lunatic. We're in lunatic land. I'm just telling you, lunatic land. How could just think about it. How could any company in 2 weeks add the value of Netflix? I mean, come on, any company. Netflix is a monster. It's a beast. And this company on no news, no earnings, no anything added a Netflix. This is a bubble, okay? I don't know how it's going to pop, what is going to pop, but this is a bubble. And the problem is on the way out, you know, you're going to have a problem selling it because there will be no bids. Now that we're not in that phase at all. We're in the opposite of that phase. We're in still the bubble phase where they think, it's going to just go up forever. But listen, I would recommend above 180, selling the 180, 182 and a half call spread, maybe for, you can even go wider if you have a little bit more, tolerance for risk. I like that trade for everyone out there. I
How
think
much premium are you getting on that?
I haven't priced it yet because we haven't opened, but I think you'll get, for a couple of weeks, you'll get a buck, buck and a half with a max loss of $1. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a way to play it with right now. I have the 77 and a half 80 right now, which is popping up in the money. But the most I can lose on it is a buck, buck and a half. And I like that risk trade. And then once we go down, the way I like to play it is once we go down through the lower strike, I roll it down and sell the spread again. So, I like that. I just think
Dude, I've been
the
doing a
market,
lot of that.
I
I've
just
been
don't
doing a lot of
understand.
that lately.
The market is up 6 weeks. This is 6 weeks in a row. Okay. I don't, what is, I know we did 2 trade deals. They were unbelievable too. The trade deal with the EU was incredible, dude. Just incredible. Meanwhile, the funniest thing is Trump is just playing golf. He's selling more properties. He's buying more stuff. He's making more money in Bitcoin, and he's playing golf. He's literally been playing golf for a straight week. I mean, I saw him this morning, which was the afternoon in Scotland, and he's like playing golf. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So
Why you were playing golf too?
no, I don't like, I stink in golf, but that's a whole nother story. But
What's your thing? What do you play? Pickleball.
yeah,
Pickleball.
play a little pickle, do a lot of walking, try to stay in shape. But, as far as the market goes, to me, yesterday was a good trade for us. We faded that opening. We came in about 40 S&P points. We're back up. You're freaking out. We're up like 12 handles. You think that's a big move? I mean, this is actually
I think 5 points.
a good opening if you want to get short because it's crap that we're even up. I mean, we're up because of one stock, literally one stock. Tell me what's up. Show me what's up because I don't see it. Okay, let's go
Uh,
to let's go
let's
to
see.
Tesla. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla's not up. I don't see anything up big other than Nvidia. And the problem with Nvidia is it's so big and
All up. They're all up small pre-market.
small, tiny, tiny, tiny. It's all Nvidia, dude. It's all Nvidia.
No, Broadcom. Why? It's not just Nvidia. Broadcom is up 1%.
Whatever. I mean, and then there's some biotech. Novo is down like 27.
Broadcom is like what is it in the top 10 Nasdaq holding?
I
It's
don't
up
think
there, top
it's got a
10.
5%, 4% weighting, something like
Yeah.
that. Whatever. I mean, listen, I think it's a double fade again. I think they're giving you an opportunity to get shorted up here. I think the market is not concerned about the Federal Reserve in any way at all. I think that they're not concerned with tariffs at the end of the week. They know taco is going to taco out. Um, your China deal is much more far off than people realize. That there is no deal. They're stuck on stuff I don't even understand. Rare earth minerals, and I don't know, stuff like that. Same stuff they were stuck on 4 years ago. And then I threw it to you early in the podcast. What's going on in Mexico and China and Canada? Are they going to stay at 30%, or is it going to taco out, take them down to 15 and taco them out? I mean,
You know what's coming.
yeah, but it's pathetic. I don't know how you think this is.
Drop the tariff down to 15%, and Mexico and Canada are
But
going to
why is
invest
he dropping the
trillions of
tariffs?
dollars in the U.S. economy.
But why is he dropping the tariffs down? I'm just not understanding. Why is he dropping the tariffs down? Why?
I
What's the
think I think
benefit? He's
I
winning.
think if you look at the EU deal, the fact that they pledged, what is it, 750 billion in LNG buying over the next 3 years, and another like 600 billion in other investments into the
Can
U.S.
I
I
ask
think.
you a question? My first question is, how are they going to even know what they're doing? I know they're going to go, here's the receipt, Joey. I bought a hundred billion last week. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah,
This is
I
all
know,
this is
I
all
know,
this is all semantics, dude. All
I know.
semantics
I'll
for
give you that. That I'll agree. It's
it's
all
all
just,
optics.
yeah,
The
it's all
guy,
optics.
the
You
guy
get the headline.
actually, the guy actually didn't win. That's what's so crazy. He didn't win because none of these countries were going to sign on to a bad deal, and that's why they're stuck on China right now. Is because China's not signing a deal that's bad for them. They won't do it. So
The
they,
people of the EU actually don't think it was a good deal. They do not. They don't like that LNG thing. They're like, why are we? And I mean, their memory is really short. But they're like, why are we importing much
but
more
why are we
expensive
for? Why are we?
LNG when we have Russia
But
right
why
next
are
door?
we forcing them to buy our shit? Like I don't even understand it. Like you think them buying 700, I thought it was 600 billion dollars of LNG means anything over 3 years. I mean, come on. Dude, that market trades more than that in a day. I mean, come on. It's a
I'm
massive
actually pretty
market.
disappointed Cheniere Energy didn't hold gains. I
It
mean,
should
the
go
thing.
down. It should go down. Why would it go up? I
What do you
mean,
mean? Why would it
why
go
would it
up?
go up? Because it's obvious they signed a deal to buy it over 3 years. That would make it go up. I would be a seller. That's called sell the news, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, but it was never up on even
Which
before the
makes
news.
it, wait, which makes it even worse. Makes it even worse. Well, look, listen,
That company is a
I'm
great
going
long
to
term.
give you a trading example right here. You ready?
Yeah.
So, Coinbase, okay? Coinbase was in an uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. It kind of looked like Nvidia, never going down, just up every day. Didn't matter if Bitcoin was up or down. Then all of a sudden, Bitcoin extended, made an all-time high. This thing rallied. This is a trading lesson for people out there. This thing rallied. It got a little ridiculous at $445 a share. Then it came in, and then yesterday, when it should have rallied, like your Cheniere Energy should have rallied, okay, Coinbase was down $12 with, and you even pointed this out, with Bitcoin up from Friday's close. So that basically means it had very bad relative strength. Okay. And it means that there were true sellers in the marketplace, which is probably what happened in Cheniere or whatever you call it. I call it Cheniere, and that's what it's called, I believe, but you call it, I forgot. Say what you call it.
I just call it. I call it Chenier. I don't do the
Cheniere.
French
Cheniere.
accent. Like
So I like that.
fancy. Oh my
I,
god.
I
Okay.
like that. But anyway, but that's a prime example in trading of letting the market or the stock dictate to you what is actually the true feeling in the stock. Because, like, today, Coinbase shouldn't have been down, but there was a seller and they caught everybody offside from the sell off the top. And today it's up $3.50, but it should be up 10. But it won't be up 10 because everybody is broken in the name. And until it gets above 400 again, which it's nowhere near, you're not going to be able to push that stock higher because there are people that are hurt in the name. And it's the same thing in Cheniere Energy in the sense that, it's, like you said, it should have been up more. What's the first thing as a trader that tells you? That tells you there are people selling the news and people taking the opportunity to
Well,
get out of the trade.
yeah. LNG is a little different. It's a great example you give, by the way. I'm going to give a counter though from yesterday, but in LNG's case, the pop on the news, it all happened pre-market. LNG trades really thin pre-market, and there was some selling at elevated levels, but it's a different situation because LNG was in a tight range for a big part of the year, and Coinbase was ripping up. So it's a little bit of a. I don't think anybody actually trades the name.
But
Like
that's even worse. That's actually worse. Like all the
it
things
made
you
it
just
worse.
said,
It
all
could be
the things
worse.
you actually just said as a trader makes it worse. Number one, you said no one trades it. Okay. You don't want to be in a place where no one trades it. Okay. You want to be in stuff that trades, that people are putting positions on that get sided either long or short. Okay.
It's not a
And then,
popular name.
and
It's
then you're
about
saying too, it hasn't really traded well. So when it didn't trade well off of good news, that tells you you want to get the hell out of town. Okay. Now, sometimes in that scenario, and we've seen this before in my career, um, it takes a day or two to consolidate and then actually moves the way it should when you take the bad longs out of the market. Like I think, Coinbase for a trade could be a buy in here into earnings on Friday or Thursday. I think the earnings are the 31st. Is the 31st
yeah,
Thursday?
34.
So, the bottom line is in Coinbase, I think they're just taking out bad longs. There are bad longs from higher levels above 400. The retail public that you say never loses anymore. The retail public bought the hell out of this name, and they got rinsed. And
They
and I
got rid.
believe and I believe in the pure market that scenario is going to happen again. Okay, I'm not
Well, you
saying
can't say
today.
you can't say I'm always long because I was short that name right along with you.
Okay, you know
Right.
what? I was short that name up there
I was long
for
Bitcoin against.
for 34, 35, and now I'm actually long that name because I think it's $10 to 20, $15 lower than where it should be, basis the price of the commodity. I'm calling it a commodity of the Bitcoin. Um, so that's a true mean reversion trade that worked out pretty well. But now you have to sift through I'm going to call them, I don't know, like bad longs,
Yeah.
puking out either margin call or whatever. But anyway, we got a lot this week. I'm surprised the market is so giddy. I think it's one stock again. So keep an eye on Nvidia. Keep it up on your screen. Watch it like a hawk. It has such a big weighting in Nasdaq. I know you do that Nasdaq S&P trade. You should just do S&P against Nvidia. It's the same trade. The bottom line is if Nvidia falls, Nasdaq's going to fall. If Nvidia doesn't fall, Nasdaq has no chance of falling, or very, very limited chance of falling. I mean,
By the
for
way, since you mentioned Bitcoin and Coinbase, Ray Dalio, your good friend Ray Dalio, you guys have like chapters in the Market Wizard side by side. So
Mhm.
your good friend Ray uh, basically said investors should allocate 15% of their portfolios to both Bitcoin or gold. Previously, he said only 1 to 2%. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And I'll throw this back at you. What does that mean? He's bearish on the stock market? If he that obviously means he's not bullish on the stock market if he's telling you to allocate that as an outsized allocation that I don't agree with at all. But that's a very outsized allocation.
That
And
is
I
that,
would think
that was
and I would
eyebrow
think
raising.
that I think that that totally relates to him not being bullish on equities. Because if you're bullish on equities, why would you need to own Bitcoin? Doesn't even make sense, especially an outsized position of
Yeah, I mean, he was
15%.
citing the debt, the U.S. debt spiral. So that doesn't sound bullish.
Dude, nobody cares about the debt. Nobody cared. Dude, Trump was going to do tariffs to solve the debt problem at 30 to 50%,
All right,
and then he settled for 15%. I don't know how it's a win. I just don't know the win. I just don't. I mean, yeah, everyone could say it's a win. It's not a win, dude. All
but
these
you see what
countries,
these countries are doing. Also, they're gaming our politicals. The fact that we have elections every 2 years.
dude,
So
they
EU
they
knows this. They're like, yeah, over the course of the next 5 years, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, okay, well, Trump's gonna be out the door.
I
Or
don't know how they, listen, this is for another podcast. We're getting late, but I don't know how they can even buy our LNG. It's not even suitable for their hubs. So I don't
suitable.
how.
They were buying the crap out of it when. See, everybody forgets, right? When Russia invaded Ukraine and then they shut off Europe's gas, and how Europe had to scramble, and so they
The
found a
only
way to
thing
use
is
our LNG pretty good.
a commitment of $200 billion a year does not sound like a lot to me. Just honestly, it does not sound like a lot. The 200 billion is like the old 20 million or whatever. I mean, it does not sound like a lot, dude.
No, I mean
There are
targeted
NFL
individual
contracts.
industries.
Timeout.
It's a lot.
Dude, there are NFL contracts bigger than that. Guys are signing 10 years, $350 zillion. I mean, come on. This is a joke deal. I mean, come on. A joke deal. I'm just telling you, a joke deal. It's all perception. Trump just says we did a big, beautiful deal. The interesting one is is all this Epstein stuff. What's going to happen when he pardons Ghislaine Maxwell for not saying one thing about him in the freaking meeting? She's getting a pardon, 100%. How's that going to look? It's going to be.
Have you ever met a good politician like that has a nice, clean, like history? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
There's some.
we got Fed tomorrow, so we'll be gauging that.
So, what are
Pre-market.
your thoughts on the Fed for tomorrow? What do you think? What do you think? There's nothing to even say, right? I mean, there's nothing that's going to happen tomorrow with the Fed
No, I just think
other than the guidance.
I think the fireworks are going to be when he doesn't cut, that Trump may put the axe down on him. You never know. So I,
Yeah. You think he's just going to fire him? Is he even allowed to just fire him like that?
He's allowed to do what he wants. It'll go to the courts probably, but I believe he can try to do whatever he wants.
I
Um,
feel like Bessent is telling him, like, I feel like Trump wants to fire him, and then he like goes unleashed in front of the media. I still can't get that image of Powell in a hard hat out of my mind, but and then I think Bessent tells him, "Hey, why don't you calm
Dude,
down?"
Bessent, listen to me. Bessent doesn't tell Trump anything. I'm just letting you know that. Okay, he can maybe say something. He doesn't listen one thing to Scott Bessent. I can
I
promise
think
you
Trump respects Bessent's economic thoughts.
that. Okay, you think he's a good hedge fund man? He was a hedge fund manager. You think he made money in the hedge fund business or lost?
Isn't he trading under Soros?
No,
Right?
he had his own hedge funds. They went out of business. But he did make, he did work under Soros, but his hedge funds didn't do well. But whatever. Not debating whether he's a smart guy. I'm debating whether, Trump is going to listen to anything he says. He hasn't listened to anyone. So why is he going to listen to him? Who's very soft spoken and, basically,
It's the
you know,
quiet one that you got to watch out for.
Okay, well, listen. So he's listening to him. What's he telling him?
Don't
I
fire him
mean,
right now.
do you think he's
Fire him when the
listening?
time is right. I don't know, something like that.
I don't think so. Dude, he didn't listen. He didn't listen to Mnuchin, and Mnuchin was there the entire ride. Okay, he was a great second guy to him, but he wasn't listening to Mnuchin. Mnuchin knew exactly how to play it. He just sidestepped them, took the benefits of being the Secretary of Treasury and moved on to back to private life, making a gazillion dollars. So, whatever. I think that the story is yet to be written. I think I saw rumblings yesterday that were going to be 15 to 20% minimum tariffs. So I'm thinking he may push this to 20% on these guys, even though they signed the deal. So there's a lot of, market is priced for perfection. There's a lot of things that can happen.
I agree with
Yeah,
you. It definitely is priced for that.
hey,
I will
the
agree.
Nasdaq is up 44% off the low in 2.5 months. I rattled off to you the best 5 years, and it's in the top 2 to 3 best years in the history of the market. So we've had the best 2.5 months basically in history. So that's where we're sitting. It's hard to come off that, but you got to look at it rationally. You can't, listen, to me, Nvidia is $180 a share. It was 162 weeks ago. You missed the boat. Wait on it. I just don't. I think now the stock's only up $2, which, believe it or not, on a $5 trillion stock, which we've never even, up until COVID, we didn't have a stock over $1 trillion. This stock is up so many fold that it's incredible. I'm just asking you, where is all the stock? There's the holders list. I showed it to you, or I told you there are many firms with over 1 billion shares. They don't want to sell a share. No, there's nothing better to buy. It's going to go up forever without a downtick. Don't worry. So that's where we're sitting. Um, I'm feeling I'm feeling pretty good about the situation because even though we are not right, I believe the opportunity to strike will happen shortly. So we want to be nimble. I've been coming in early, doing a lot of research, looking at a lot of different things, and things are pointing me to stuff that I've seen in the past. I mean, obviously, this meme craze, hit during COVID, and then everybody, like, think about the meme craze. Everybody lost their shirt in that thing, dude. The people that made money were the Hello Kitty, the guys that know how to trade, but the general public bought AMC at over $100. It went to like two, you know. So just be careful out there. Trade nimbly. When you have a profit, I suggest taking it. Okay. Yeah, you can hit lotto, that could happen, but that's not what we do. We grind profits and we look to play another day. So that's my story. I know we're running deep. Hopefully people got good information. One last thing, can you look at the straddle today? Is it
Yes, I
still at
did.
18? What?
Yes, even lower a little bit.
That's horrendous.
It's horrendous.
Horrendous. So basically, there's no movement. Market's going to open up, sit up all day with no trading. Nvidia's going to rally because it always rallies. And
I gotta send you like a fruitcake. I feel so bad when you get like this.
what do you? Dude. I'm making money. I'm totally fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the amazing thing. So why are you so upset?
because it's ridiculous that the amateur hour continues to go on. That's why this is
Why
a
does it bother you? Why? Like,
this is a
let him have all
professional
the
game.
fun.
Let me ask you a question. I know one of the top brain surgeons in the country. Okay, I'm not going to mention his name. Guy's unbelievable. He's operated on, a lot of really famous people that need him when they're in a lot of trouble. Right? Can I do that guy's job? What would happen if I stepped into the surgery room? I'd probably like put a fork in someone's brain. Okay. So my question to you
Yes.
is
So
why does the guy in the restaurant that I went to on Sunday night who saw me on my phone looking at stocks tell me he's a stock trader and that's okay and he's making money? Just tell me how that's okay. I'm not even going to let you answer it because you're going to come up with some crazy thing, but that's where I'm leaving the podcast. Okay. The waiter is crushing it. Okay. Now that last, I've seen that in 1987. I saw it in 2000. Listen, I worked at Spear Leeds and Kellogg, one of the best firms on Wall Street. We were bought by Goldman for $8.6 billion in 2000, which would now be 10x that deal. So it would have been one of the biggest deals in Wall Street history. Okay. When I was here in 1999, we had one floor in our building. Okay. It was mostly prop trading, meaning we traded the firm's capital. By the end of 1999, we had the entire building, dude. The entire building, we owned it. We leased every space in the building to a bunch of doctors, lawyers, and freaking waiters that were day trading all day. So, what makes this different other than the fact that they're hidden on this device right here that you can just see the market ticking up and down on? I'm just trying to understand it. If you could tell me, then I'm good with it. I'm trying to understand it. Like why you think that any Tom, Dick, and Harry should be rewarded for insatiable buying and needing to make millions in a day. And, and that's where I'm going to leave it. That's what I think. I'm not saying we're going to fall apart today. I'm just seeing signs of the same thing I saw in 1999 when my office was filled with lawyers, doctors, and waiters, okay, that were in the office, taxi drivers or Uber drivers. Dude, the guy driving the Uber is trading stocks. He picks me up and I see him on his phone trading it up. Okay. I mean, come on, dude. This is crazy town. So I would be careful out there and there'll be good opportunities. Just sit back, relax. And I know you're bullish, so I'm going to leave the podcast. Eric is bullish. Everybody
I'm
enjoy the day. Enjoy
fine.
the day. Peace. Thank you.